Ladies and gentlemen, we are now talking to Las Vegas Raiders running back. We spoke to Chris Collier, and now we've got Mr. DYLAN LAUBE. DYLAN, what's up, buddy?
What's going on? I mean, holy shit. The last 10 minutes that I've been watching this, the juice has been unreal.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if it's been like this every single show because holy shit, I came in and it's been nuts. So I fucking love it.
Thank you. It is. This show is absolutely everything that you know and you've seen every single time. This show is a little crazy, outlandishly nuts. But we know what we're talking about, and we speak from our hearts. We do our investigations. We don't copycat anybody. We don't trick anybody. Oh, this is if you know who we are, you know our personalities.
New York way, baby. Come on.
We're New York guys, but we're also people that know our sports. Tell LeBron to kiss my ass. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, we're not here to talk basketball. We're here to talk some football. And we had your boy, we had one of your buddies, Chris Collier, on the show. You're both from Long Island, Strong Island, whatever you want to call it. We're building something here in Long Island, so maybe we'll talk off air. But the Raiders are an organization that have been a laughable organization. They're an organization that a lot of people say don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to put players in the right position to succeed. You bring in Pete Carroll, who is a veteran coach that's won a Super Bowl, and in 1 year you fire him and let loose, and then they bring in now they bring in a rookie coach that's never done it but won a Super Bowl as the offensive coordinator. First, let's hear your thoughts. You have an opportunity now. You're one of those Raiders. You have a chance to speak about your new coach. Tell us what you know and what you like about your new coach.
Overall in Vegas, when I got here, I mean, think about it. I mean, if you're the NFL, you want Vegas to win. I mean, they are trying so hard for Vegas to win, to be that kind of that bright spot in the NFL because it's Vegas. I mean, it's the gambling capital. It's the entertainment capital. It's just nuts. It's nuts. So, I mean, from the stadium to the facilities, it's, if not one or two best. So, like, overall, from the experiences, besides winning games, of course, it's been unreal. But now coming to my third year with my third brand new staff, it's tough. It's tough because, I mean, now you got to build yourself again. You got to reestablish yourself. So it's tough. It's tough. But what I've heard about Kubiak so far, man, I've heard he's just a bright, young, new kind of that new generational head coach type. And I think the Raiders are trying something new. So it's going to be fun.
I got a chance to learn a little bit about Klint Kubiak. I watched him grow up as a young kid. His father, Gary Kubiak, is a Super Bowl champion. He has two sons that are eventually, he has one that's going to be a head coach, another one that's going to be a head coach probably in a year or 2 years from now. When you look at the Kubiak family, they're very, very well knowledged when it comes to the offensive side of the ball and understand the game, the speed of the game, and the transition of offense to defense. When you look at, obviously, your game, how do you believe your game and the way you run the ball fits the Klint Kubiak type of style?
So I actually first met Coach Kubiak when he was with the Saints in 2024 when I was coming out of the combine. And it was one of those 30-team visits where they're allowed to take in 30 guys from around the NFL draft and bring in only 30 guys for each team. So the first team that I visited was the Saints, of course, and he was the OC there. And it was me, him, the head coach there, and a couple of the position coaches. And just the way he was talking was just, from a young guy, you would think that he was so well-spoken and just like so above his time knowledge of age. Yeah, it was just unbelievable. I'm like, this guy's 30-something. You would think he's 50 because just the way he knows the game and he's just so smart. And just I'm that type of back where I can kind of do it all. Of course, we got Jeanty too, who's our main workhorse back. But I think just with knowing that from either me or Chris, we could almost be that 1-2 punch, which we also know it's the NFL too. So they're going to bring in a vet, more guys, probably more picks too. So at the end of the day, it's just a competition. So I now have to work to earn my spot in the team and now establish myself on the offense to show coach that, hey, like I truly belong.
So you mentioned all the differences with the different head coaches that you've had. Obviously, Antonio Pierce was your first year. Who, when Chris was on the show, he was actually mentioning because he grew up a Giants fan, he always looked up to as a player. And then obviously Pete Carroll, he was only there the 1 year, but I'm sure a good veteran mentor for you. And he's been very good with running backs over the years. Even after Marshawn Lynch was there, they had all these random guys that worked out in Seattle. And then obviously now with Kubiak, like you were mentioning, like some of the differences with those head coaches, like has it helped you really grow in that running back room?
100%. 100%. I think Antonio Pierce was my first coach that really kind of showed us the kind of the toughness that kind of comes with the NFL. And he was just like that hard-nosed dude. I think he was an undrafted guy. So he always came in every single day with that chip on his shoulder. Of course, it didn't work out. But then Pete came in and he brought the juice every single day. Him being 74, you wouldn't even think he was 74. You would think he would be the complete opposite. You would think he's like 45 because just the way he controlled the room and just the way he talked and was out at practice running around. You're like, this guy's 74. Like he brought so much energy every single day. And it's just a shame because he's such a legendary coach and you would never want that kind of be his like kind of final year. But we actually saw him, me and a couple of my boys, we took a trip to Hawaii and he was there. So we actually saw him. He's doing great. He's doing fine. He's officially retired now, so he's feeling good. But Kubiak, I think, is just going to be a bright new young spot for us. I'm really, really excited to see where like he kind of brings in that new kind of spice for us.
We are talking to Las Vegas running back DYLAN LAUBE, and he's from Long Island, Strong Island, from West Hampton Beach, New York. Played for West Hampton Beach Senior High School. By the way, I've DJ'd over there. I did some work over there over the years. I know a little bit about West Hampton High School.
Had to be back in the day, though.
Yes.
Had to be back in the day.
Yes,
There's no more areas.
Yes,
Come on.
Yes. I got you, man. I did a lot of their football, football events and stuff like that. So I was there, but nevertheless, I'm here. I'm here to entertain you guys.
Do you want to jerk me off?
I don't know if you want to do that, but ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot to get into with the Vegas Raiders, and one of them is the number one pick. Now, Crosby was very upset at the end of the season because a lot of people believe that they sat Brock Bowers and really sat Crosby because they wanted to lose out. They wanted that number one pick, and now they have a chance to land probably the only quarterback in this class that's going to mean anything. And you know I'm talking about Mr. Heisman Trophy winner, Mr. Fernando Mendoza. It seems like that's the route you're going. If that is the route your Raiders go, what is it going to be like playing with a player of that magnitude, a guy that has a very unique personality, very down to earth, but a person that's kind of like he's more about reading comics than going out and partying at a club. What is your thoughts about Fernando Mendoza?
To be honest, I think that's perfect because to be honest with you, I think the way Vegas kind of works to just the personnel and the coaches, they also don't want to have just a great player, but also a person with a great character because Vegas, it's a wild place. So they don't want someone coming in their star player, their first round pick to come in and party his balls off and at the club, drugs, drinking and doing all this stuff. So they want a good Christian boy that is just locked in on the playbook. That's a great competitor. That's focused 24/7. So to be honest, it's just a perfect situation for us.
I love Fernando Mendoza. Of course, it screws the New York Jets. I'm a Jet fan. I wanted to see him go to the Jets. I was at the Heisman Trophy dinner. I got a chance to interview him. I think he's a great kid. I think he speaks very, very well. He's a mama's boy, and you can tell that. All the trials and tribulations of what his mom has been through. She's been through MS and just the type of person, what he had to do to get where he was and where he's been in Indiana. He grew up a Miami Hurricanes fan. Miami didn't want him. Nobody wanted him. He finally gets into Cal. He gets a chance to play for Cal, and then he goes into the portal, goes to Indiana, and then does what he does. And why is it? And it's quite fitting to see what happens. They go to the national championship in Miami against the Hurricanes, the team that he rooted for his whole life, and he beats them. It's an amazing story when you see that kind of personality come come to the Raiders and has to be a leader and be a leader in a locker room with a bunch of young guys, do you think that he would fit like a glove with some of the personalities in that locker room?
Absolutely, man. I mean, that's just a insane story and such a inspirational story too, because in that locker room too, like guys want to fight for something, and the QB is the prime position and such a key spot where they want someone that they can truly support and be like, you know what, like we want to fight for this guy. And he's a guy that just seems like he's just willing to fight for every guy in that room. So it's going to be cool to see. So if we get him, which 99% sure that we will.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be around.
I'm not sure. Listen, it's crazy because everyone thinks that like NFL guys like know a lot more than they do, which to be honest, we don't know jack shit about anything. So when news hits, we know the exact same time as that. So
Dylan, watch this. Watch what this guy. This is ridiculous.
I know, it's unbelievable.
It's
ridiculous. I mean, if we don't draft it, it'll be insane, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I know it's gonna happen. It makes me sick.
Okay.
Makes me sick.
Okay.
So I know you do a lot of kick returning too, in addition to your role as a running back on this team. We've seen in your even before your 3 years coming into the league, them change the special teams rules a lot to try to either prevent head injuries, to prevent leg injuries, and all this stuff, and trying to make it where the offense got more of a flash on the field. But now you said the rules this year, we saw more kick returns overall. What are your thoughts on the way that they've handled the special teams, and you as a player, like between a running back and returner itself, and how does it change your role in your training?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, so the NFL is a production-based league too. So now that you're increasing snap counts, where now instead of maybe getting 10 returns a year because they kick it in the back of the end zone, now you're getting 80 plus. So now that just increases your reps and your value as a player. So it's still such an insane play because it's just a giant wall. You catch the ball and you just got to run through the wall, through the smoke, and just find a hole and just go in. Half the time, it doesn't even work. So it's pure chaos, but it's still awesome.
Dylan, you could teach Speedy a little bit of finding the hole because he doesn't know how to find holes.
Noah, don't take offense to this. I'm sure you're a great teacher. It's not going to help me.
Bagel hole. I farted.
Yeah, there's a better chance of me finding bagel holes.
Butt plug.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not going to find any butt plugs, Nathan.
Oh, God.
But I mean, there it is, the glory hole.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Bingo.
Glory days for glory holes. So you have the Raiders, an organization, like I said, they've been a laughing stock. You have an owner that moved you guys to Vegas. You have one of the nicest stadiums in all of football. You have an interesting crowd. You have a lot of the Raider fans travel from Oakland all the way and pack out that stadium, which is pretty damn amazing. It really is. You look at this team, and I look, first of all, I know Ashton. I got a chance to meet him last year at the Heisman Trophy dinner. I think he was robbed.
Yep.
I think he was robbed because the Gremlin, Mr. Travis the Gremlin Hunter, should not have won the Heisman. I don't care what anybody says. I was there. I was shocked. Everything fell out of my mouth. And I couldn't stand looking at that smile when he went up there. I mean, we'll show you what he looks like. But he makes me sick. But Ashton is a young, kind, collective guy, beast of a man, can run through defensive lines. There he is. Oh, yeah. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The Gremlin himself. He calls himself the unicorn. I call him the Gremlin. Anyways, you look at the talent that you have on this roster, and there's a lot of questions to it. They still need to build, and I think that Ashton will be the veteran on this team. Would it be crazy to think that you and Chris would be 2 and 3 on this roster now after Mostert probably is done? He's probably retiring this year, which we've heard a lot of good things about him and his leadership. Could you see you guys yourselves as 1 and 2 on the depth charts?
Yeah, why not? I mean, who says we can't? So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's how we perform in camp, in the offseason, how we train. So, once again, you know that they're going to bring in a couple of vets, maybe a draft pick, who knows? But at the end of the day, it's kind of up to me and Chris to show it. And it's really in our hands because the only backs that are truly signed are me, Chris, and Jeanty. So as of now, it's just us three, which obviously it's going to be more. But, yeah, shoot, man, why not? So I'm excited for that.
Well, here, we know the Giants had 3 running backs in the time they were Super Bowl champions with Jacobs and Bradshaw and Ward. So they called themselves Earth, Wind, and Fire. So why don't we call you guys Run, Gun, and Shoot? How's that?
I fucking love it.
I don't listen. Let's keep it away from anybody that plays with the Memphis Grizzlies. Because John Moran is one guy that you don't want to bring up that terminology to.
Strays for everyone.
Yeah, he'll probably be hiding under a desk or something if I'm around John Moran. Run, gun, and shoot. Hit the deck. He's on his way. I'm just saying, but run, gun, and shoot. What about that? Or we could think of a name like, I don't know. It just popped in my head, run, gun, and shoot. I mean, you guys have an opportunity to be very special. I think Ashton Jeanty is a unique runner. He could do everything on the football field. We got a chance to see a little bit of his ability in the second half of the season, but I just think that your offensive line was horrible this year. They didn't give him enough, room to run. He didn't give you – really, all of you guys couldn't run the ball because your offensive line was so bad. What do you think the Raiders need to do this offseason to make the offensive line a better transition for you guys as running backs?
Well, I think what helps the offensive line too is not just the run game, but the pass game too, with receivers, a QB, a great running back, which we – already have. And then, think about it. 3 of our 5 guys were all hurt this year on our front 5. So it's just, it sucks. But I think they're going to go after some guys, either with picks or vets. And
who would you want? Who would you want? Speedy, get up the list of guys that are available right now for free agency as offensive linemen. We give you 3 names. You give us 1 through 3 in order. Your number 1 guy, your number 2 guy, your number 3 guy. And I'll make it happen. I'll reach out to the GM and say, listen, make this happen because our friend DYLAN LAUBE wants it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull the trigger, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to just reach out. I'll write a letter.
You get the most cap space, man. It makes sense.
I'll take a dump in a box and I'll send it over there with a nice little bow on it. I'll do something. Anyway.
Hey, to be honest, we could probably get all 3 because I think we have like 80 million.
You do.
Cap space.
You do.
So, we got enough for them. So
you are the number. You have the number 2 amount of money spending in the offseason. All right, Speedy, who do we got?
All right, so the top 3 tackles. We'll start with those. Rasheed Walker from the Green Bay Packers, Braden Smith, who I like a lot, from the Indianapolis Colts, and then New York Giants, Jermaine Illuminor, who the Giants are not going to be able to keep.
Well, the Raiders had him too.
And the Raiders had him, so maybe there's a reuniting. And then also on the interior, you got Tyler Linderbaum, stud with the Ravens, Connor McGovern with the Buffalo Bills, was previously with the Jets, and Joel Bitonio, a pretty good veteran.
Stay away from McGovern. You don't want Connor McGovern. But all right, so give us your top 3. Speedy, give them the names again.
All right, so Rasheed Walker, Braden Smith.
Just give the last names. He knows who they are.
And then Linderbaum, McGovern, Bitonio.
So the 2 guys, because we already have a great tackle, which is Colton Miller, but he was hurt. So I think you guys start with the tackle on the opposite side. So I think I like what you said with Braden Smith would be a big one. And then we go with the interior, who I liked a lot because we've played them now twice, was Lindenbaum, who I really liked a lot. Those would be my 2 guys that I know are big money, but hey, listen, I played both of them, so.
You got it. All right, let's spin the wheel, make the deal. Speedy, get me a phone call. Let me reach out to Mr. Davis. I got a bone to pick with him, and hopefully he's not boning anybody else.
You're talking about my boss. I can't say anything.
I know he's your boss, but I look at the girls that guy's sleeping with, man. Jesus Christ. They're 40 years younger than him. Listen, I need to teach him how to cut his hair, man. That hairdo needs a little changing. Or maybe I should throw him another bone, give him a hat. Give him one of those beanies that Fish wears all show long. Something to hide that ugly hair. But I like Davis, by the way. I like him as an owner. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. Go ahead, Speedy.
All right, I switch the angles. You played in New Hampshire, University of New Hampshire, at a FCS school. We had a Giants linebacker, ex-linebacker, Gary Reasons, on last week. He was talking about his journey playing at Northwestern State in Louisiana, which was also an FCS school. So what are some advice you could give to anyone that coming from any of those schools on your NFL journey, that how you got there from a school like New Hampshire?
Just from my experience and just seeing my other teammates who I think a lot of people coming from the FCS don't think that they belong in the NFL maybe, and maybe initially it's their dream is to go to the NFL, and then as they become a junior and senior, it kind of slowly fades away because they just know it's just a very hard chance to make it. But I always kind of just stayed the course, did my job every single day, put my head down, just went. And I think if you just be super consistent in what you do and what you truly believe in, I think it will work out. So that's kind of been my kind of motto throughout my career since high school, college, and now the NFL.
We are talking to Las Vegas Raiders running back DYLAN LAUBE. And listen, that is his pet peeve, ladies and gentlemen. Put your head down and maybe something will happen.
I can't say anything. You know I can't say anything around you.
Oh, man. When you come on this show, listen, we have some fun. We're not going to sit here and be boring. This is not one of those interviews. Hey, guys, we're going to ask you the same question everybody and their mother asks you. We don't do that. We want to have fun with you. We want you to understand that, you know, shows is entertainment. Sports is entertainment. It's become more understanding with fantasy and obviously sports betting. So I think the one thing I think a lot of sports shows are missing is comedy and being yourselves and not having people tell you, hey, make sure you say this or make sure you don't say that. I think it's so pathetically boring, and I don't want to do that. I want you, when you leave the show, wow, that show is crazy. That's one of the best shows I've ever been on. You know, that's what I want people to. Thank you. I appreciate that, Dylan. So we look at the game. And I don't know what you grew up here in Long Island. So who did you root for as a kid? Was it the Jets or the Giants?
It was the Giants.
Okay.
It was the Giants.
So he's a Giant fan, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got 3 Giant fans here at the studio. We got Mr. Fish, who you heard as the executive producer, Mr. Speedy Petey, who just asked you a question, and Tommy Poops, if he's not on the toilet, he's rooting for the Giants. So you look at, obviously, the Giants organization as a fan. Just him. Do you like John Harbaugh as a hire? Do you think that'll fit over there? Do you think it's a home run? Or do you think they should have went another way, another path to help a guy like Jackson Dart as a young player develop as a quarterback? Maybe a Mike McCarthy. Do you think they made the right choice?
I actually love it. I think John coming out was probably, if not one of the best coaches to either be in for free agency between him and Tomlin too. I was like, how can a franchise let these 2 guys go? And they did. And I think Giants made a great choice. And now they got a Hall of Fame coach who's a Super Bowl champ. So, I mean, it's an easy choice.
So I want to further on with the Giants a little bit. Obviously, they made the controversial decision 2 years ago, getting rid of Saquon Barkley, and that was a big debate at the time. Oh, do you pay a running back? Do you not pay a running back? And obviously, we've seen
they regret that.
But we've seen obviously some good teams not pay him and make it work out. But you really need either the offensive coach or the quarterback. The Giants didn't have either one of those. They just have Joe Shane, who's been practically downgraded to like scout team at this point with the new ownership coming in there. So, what are your overall impressions with the state of running backs across the league, and obviously in relation to how really was rock bottom for the Giants?
I think they're definitely undervalued, but at the same time, like Saquon 2 going to Philly, I think they kind of built around him too they had an unbelievable offensive line. They had a good QB. They had great weapons, a great defense. And if you have that with a all-star back, man, it's just so hard to lose games because he was untouched for so many runs. And if he's one-on-one with a safety, a cornerback, I mean, I'm banking on him every single time. It just sucks because the Giants had such a great player with him, and he was unbelievable. It just didn't work out. And I think at the time, backs were very undervalued, and they thought they could get something better, and he became a Super Bowl champ the next year. So, I mean, I can't say much about that.
Dylan, the New England Patriots had 3 losses, and one of the losses were to your Raiders, first game of the season. Now, I thought they were blown out of proportion all season long as far as their team and how good they were because they had one of the easiest schedules the NFL has ever seen. Actually, the 5th easiest schedule when it comes to numbers in NFL history. When you look absolutely, yep. So you look at Drake May and you saw what he did in the playoffs. What was the number? What was the analytic?
So he had Drake May for a quarterback that played 3 games or more in the playoffs, had the lowest rated EPA in NFL history at like minus 41.2, I believe it was.
So think about this. He was an MVP candidate, almost won the MVP. And I said it. He had a great season, but they played nothing. And if you look at their division, you had to play Miami and the Jets twice, which was an easy free-for-all for them because of all the stuff that we've seen this year. So you think about it that way. And I said, if Drake May is really an elite quarterback, because me and my friend, my pal, who used to do a show together, he came out to me and he says, Drake May will be an MVP candidate and an elite player within 3 years. Well, because he had this easy schedule, he was an elite player this year and a top 3 quarterback. And I said, that's nothing. That doesn't sell me. That doesn't. I said he was right, but I want to see him against good talent next year. My argument here was, let's see how he does in the playoffs against elite AFC teams and elite defenses. And boy, oh boy, he didn't disappoint me at all. I haven't heard from Mikey C since the time he called this show and blabbered his fat mouth. So if you listen to Mikey, eat crap.
He's stress eating a bunch of Oreos.
Crap. Now, you watch Drake May right now, my friend. Is Drake May an elite quarterback in this league? Be honest. Don't worry. I'll protect you.
I don't think I've watched enough film on him.
Okay, be nice now. Be nice, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So I want to give him his flowers and say he did make it to the Super Bowl, even though he had an unbelievable team. I mean, I think he's a great QB. But once again, I haven't watched enough film on him. But I mean, that team from coming 5-12 to now, they were 14-3 or something like that, or like, yeah. So I mean, they had to do something right. It could have been Mike Vrabel. It could have been Drake May. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, a quarterback is the main kind of centerpiece of every single team. So, I mean, they went 13-4. So, I mean, you can't say much about that.
Yeah.
So,
I know you're trying to be nice. It's all right, Dylan. I'm going to help you out. Okay, I'm going to speak for you in like your shadow here, and the answer would be he blew and he was overrated, and we'll see what he does against top number 1 teams next year when his schedule is even harder than it was this year. So blow it out of your ass, Patriot fans. That's what I'd say. Anyways, by the way, we are talking to Las Vegas Raiders running back DYLAN LAUBE. He's a Long Island native. We talked to Chris Collier. Now, Dylan, I look at the league, and there's a lot of things that just make me want to shoot myself in the head. Not literally, but sometimes I want to smack myself in the head when I'm looking in the mirror.
Or we got John Morant for that.
Yeah, that's too. We wouldn't shoot himself in the head. He just shoots at everybody else in many different ways. Here's the thing. I look at the league and I look at the game, and what really turns me off about it is they've turned it into an offensive style of game. But defenses who are elite have to show up in the big game to win those games. And if you watch what Seattle did to the Patriots in Super Bowl 60, that just tells you why I believe, as far as winning championships, defense is more important than any other position. You look at your team, you have one of the more dominant defensive forces in all of the league in Crosby.
Beast.
Now, what type of player, what type of person is he in the locker room as a leader, as a friend? We know he knows how to dress, and we know he's covered with tattoos. What type of person is he?
He's the man. I mean, he's actually like truly the man. When I got drafted, so I was drafted in the 6th round in 2024. He texted me immediately on X, I'm pretty sure, and he gave me his number immediately and was like, "Hey, if you need anything, please don't hesitate and just text me." And that's just the guy. He texted every rookie that, making sure that if they ever need anything, he's there for them. And that's just like who he is as a person. And even in the locker room too, he's the same way. He'll go up to every single person on the staff and just have a conversation with every single person. He's just such a humble individual. But at the same time, he works his ass off from in the weight room to on the field, off the field. He's super strict with every single thing he does. He's just so he does the same thing just over and again, and just it's never like a missed day. He never sleeps in. He's there at the same time, which I'm pretty sure he's at the facility 5:30 every single day, and then he doesn't leave until 5 p.m. every single day. So he's never not there at those times. He's there every single day, no matter what. He's sober too, so he doesn't do any drugs, alcohol. Like, he's just a clean guy, and he's just unbelievable. So there's a reason why he's one of the best, and it's because of the way he works in the facility, off the field, in practice. He just lays people out 24/7. It could be a walkthrough practice. He's laying people out. So it's he's just a whole different animal, which it makes sense.
All right, I want to shift gears to another team that Errol doesn't like very much, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure you, as a Raiders guy, is kind of annoyed with all the attention they were getting over the last couple of years.
Gin and tonic.
Yes, I think a lot of people needed a gin and tonic. Watching the calls of the Chiefs guy, a lot of referee controversy with that, and obviously all the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift stuff. Like, what are your thoughts on all that as a division rival?
I mean, this year was their worst year in a long time, so it was awesome to see. And we beat them the last game, which I understand half the team was hurt, but we beat them, and it was like our Super Bowl, because that was actually our first time beating the Chiefs in Las Vegas ever. So I think that was our first time in 7 years or so.
The last year was COVID. In the 2020 year, they beat them in Kansas City.
Yes. So that was our first time. So that was our Super Bowl. But yeah, I mean, every single time we play them, we bring up the same thing with Taylor Swift, Kelce, Mahomes, all those main guys, and just know that they are the main guys in the NFL, and we just gotta beat the shit out of them every single game. And like, that's the game that we circle every single year. And this year, the first game was tough. It was, I think we lost like 31-0. It was a tough one, but then we finally came back and won. So it was cool.
All right, quickly, who's your favorite player on your team? Who's your best friend on the team? One, and number two, when you came to the team, who was the guy that gave you the most crap? Who was the guy that picked on you the most?
All right, so my best friend, he's a special teams dog, so we are on every single thing together. It's Tommy Eichenberg. He's a dog. He's an absolute dog. He's a special teams demon. He's probably going to be a starting backer either this year or very soon. The most guy that gave me crap, it wasn't too bad. So I would say the running back room, we had a couple guys which are still like my best friends. Amir Abdullah and Alexander Madison were both vets. They were just busting my balls all the time, every single day. But then it's like, we would go back and forth though. But like, since I'm a rookie though, they were just going back and forth. I'm like, all right, guys, funny. And they just like give me so many fines of like bull, where I had to pay a fine for some stupid joke that I made, or like something that made no sense at all. So it was all fun and games. But at the end of the day, like, those were my two main guys. But at the same time, they probably gave me a lot of shit. But it was a good time.
All right, Dylan. We're going to let you go, but I want to get you on the show again. I want to get Chris Collier on the show with you, because I think it'll be great. Two Long Island natives, and I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you offset, because I'm doing something with Chris here on Long Island to talk to 300 of the top 495 elite players here in Long Island. I would love for you and Chris to show up and speak to the fans and to these kids and tell them your story. I think it would be great, being that you guys are two 100%. Long Island natives. So we'll talk off air. Okay, give Speedy your number, and I'll talk to you off air. But we appreciate the time, man. Great, you're a great personality. I wish you guys nothing but the best. You're a guy. You're Long Island guys, so I'm rooting for you guys. I want to see you guys stars in the league. Both of you guys play.
We're playing the Jets this year. The Jets, I'm pretty sure. So
let's get up. Let's get up, man.
Or if you guys want, you guys come to Vegas. I mean, that's not that little choice either. So.
See, Dylan, you could be the first running back to come through on having us come to a Jets game because Brandon Jacobs wasn't willing.
No, listen, Dylan, you if you could get us somewhere close to you guys and just hang out with you guys down there, we'll be there. We'll be there, dude. I will be in tune with you guys, and listen. Everything that you guys do and what you guys stand for Long Island sports is the world to me. I love to watch hometown guys really become great players and become faces in a sport that's so very hard to break through in. So congratulations, man. Congratulations. Let's talk.
Thank you, guys.
Get Speedy your information.
Yes, of course. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Peace, guys.
DYLAN LAUBE, ladies and gentlemen, Las Vegas Raiders running back, the Louster. The Laube, what did I call him? Run, gun, and shoot. There you go. Run, gun, shoot. I don't know who I'm going to give the gun to.
Just not John Morant.
Keep it from John Morant, ladies and gentlemen. Stay far, far away from Mr. Ja, as he calls himself.